Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living Charlotte. Today, I'm your host, Alan, and we are delighted that you have chosen to join us on this Valentine's Day weekend. If this is your first time, we are delighted that you have chosen to join us today. We are extremely grateful for this opportunity to touch so many people and to share the wonderful happenings here at CSL Charlotte. So, please feel free to visit our website, cslcharlotte.org. Put in a prayer request and subscribe. We add our recordings to our website each week. So, let me tell you a little bit about who we are. The Center for Spiritual Living Charlotte is a new thought community living in ancient wisdom philosophy based on the science of mind. This science of mind philosophy was developed in the early 20th century by writer and lecturer Ernest Holmes. Dr. Holmes was a man on a mission. He studied truths from all of the world's religious traditions and spiritual paths. Holmes developed a fresh new way for us to look at ourselves and how we fit into our world. So let me tell you a little bit about what we do here. At CSL Charlotte, every philosophy is honored along with every race, sexual orientation, and physical distinctions. And everybody can be our Valentine. This is a diverse community. There are many paths to divine. We can call it God, peace, love, or spirit. But whatever you call it, that is your power that resonates within you. You do not have to leave your philosophy or nature of knowledge. You can join us anytime. We recognize and refer to many holy scriptures such as the Bible, the Quran, the Bhagavad Gita, and the Dhammapada, just to name only a few. So, let me tell you a little bit about our vision here. Our vision statement is to continue a spiritual community, creating and preparing a succession of future leaders who can fully integrate, teach, and expose the science of mind principles, messages, and practices that strengthen the mind, body, and spirit of individuals. One of our aims is to create a high collective consciousness for everyone in this community. We teach everyone the tools to do just that. So I invite you to come join us each Tuesday evening at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So welcome everyone and enjoy our service today as we celebrate this powerful being which lives within each and every one of us. And we have a special guest speaker today filling in for Reverend Rosedale as she takes a much needed day off. We have our former disciple of Gina Turner telling us today what does love have to do with it. So now I introduce our fabulous speaker today, Reverend Karen Mondragon.
Oh my gosh, thank you, Alan. Did I unmute myself? Yeah. What's love got to do with it? Well, Alan is love. Everybody here on this platform is love. And that's what love's got to do with it. It's life. And before we get into our talk, and this being Black History Month, today I'm going to spotlight Rosa Parks and her contribution to the civil rights movement. But before we get into that and our talk, we always start our Sunday with a prayer, and we have the most powerful prayer angel from Denver, Colorado, CSL, Reverend Millie Forsberg. Reverend Millie, will you take over the prayer light for us, please?
Amen and happily. And so let us pray as we just move into this time together, knowing that, yes, we are all one. We are all one with the divine, that infinite expression of all that is, the absolute source and love. We are here today to express as that oneness and to share our love and light on the planet, not just today, but always. I know for each and every one of us that as we just tune in and center to what is being said today by Reverend Karen, that we can learn so much more, not just about Rosa Parks, but about ourselves, and to recognize and know that we each have a purpose on this planet. Rosa Parks had a purpose on this planet. If she had not taken the stand to not give up her seat all of those years ago, we would not be experiencing some of the civil liberties that the South experiences today, unless someone else had come along and taken up the torch. And so we get to learn that what she did was out of love, not just for herself, but for mankind, even if she didn't know it at the time. And I know for each of us today that we just take that time and we just tune in, and as we listen to the fabulous words by our guest speaker today, we can tune in and hone in on what is ours to do and what has love got to do with it, and how can we express that love throughout the planet. I give thanks right now for this time and for all who came before me to put this service together today, for everyone on the platform, for the ministers, for the techs, for the MC, for everyone that's here. I give thanks. And I also give thanks for each and every person that is tuning in, either online, or on Facebook, or on Zoom, and they take the time to just be with us and to uplift us in prayer and in purpose and in knowing that we are all one and it is impossible for us to be separate. And so with that, I release this prayer into the law, knowing that my words will not return to me void. I release them and I let it be. And we can affirm this together by saying, and so it is. Amen.
Amen. Oh, Reverend Millie, you hit all the points of God in that prayer. I mean, yeah, we stand on each other's shoulders. We didn't get here by ourselves. We are all one. It was a beautiful prayer. And I am not surprised at Millie's beautiful prayer, because she is a prayer angel. That's what she does. She's beautiful. And as we all are, because we are all one. And before going to my talk, we're going to have a reading by the beautiful Jeriva. And I know it's going to be awesome because she is awesome. And after the song, after the reading, we're going to have our first song come on, and it's called I Am Worthy by Jennifer Ruth Russell. So I say welcome, welcome to everybody, people on Zoom, people on Facebook, people who will watch this later on. Welcome to CSL Charlotte. We are a mind, body, spirit center. Reverend Rosedale is our minister, and she's taking a personal time off, and we bless her. There's nothing wrong with her. She's not sick, nothing. She's just practicing self-care, and that's a beautiful thing to do, especially for her, because she does so much in life. She does a lot. So anyway, Jeriva, let me see here. Am I doing this correctly? I think I am. Okay. So Jeriva, can you take the reading light from us, darling?
Sure can. Thank you, Reverend Karen. Good morning, everyone. Today's reading is from Courtney A. Walsh, titled Dear Human. You've got it all wrong. You didn't come here to master unconditional love. This is where you came from and where you'll return. You came here to learn personal love, universal love, messy love, sweaty love, crazy love, broken love, whole love, infused with divinity, live through the grace of stumbling, demonstrate through the beauty of messing up often. You didn't come here to be perfect. You already are. You came here to be gorgeously human, flawed and fabulous, and rising again into remembering. But unconditional love, stop telling that story. Love and truth doesn't need any adjectives. It doesn't require modifiers. It doesn't require the condition of perfection. It only asks you to show up and do your best, that you stay present and feel fully, that you shine and fly and laugh and cry and hurt and heal and fall and get back up and play and work and live and die as you. It's enough. It's plenty. And so it is.
Oh my gosh, I have a hard time not having tears come out of my eyes right now because Jeriva's reading, fabulous. Oh my God, she said, between Jeriva's reading and that song we just heard, that's the service. I mean, I don't even have to say anything because the Jeriva and Jennifer Russell said it all. I mean, oh my gosh, that's what we're going to be talking about, and yeah. So I want to thank everybody again, and as I said before, this is the second Sunday of Black History Month. It is the Sunday before Valentine's Day. February is the month that we spotlight love. And we spotlight love, and that's what we're going to be talking about. Love, what's love got to do with it? It's got everything to do with it. It's our life. It's how we live, and it's God. So, I just want to thank everybody on this platform, those who have a part in this service today, and those who don't but are here every Sunday having parts in different Sunday talks and supporting each other. I couldn't do this. I could not be here to give any kind of talk or anything without my family at CSL Charlotte, without these beautiful people being here, because I know they have my back. I know if I forget something, somebody's going to say, hey, but in a loving way. It's not like, but and Alan is my timekeeper. He's going to keep it rolling for me. So I know I'm not going way off track because sometimes my focus goes, yeah. Anyway, it's a beautiful day. It's Super Bowl Sunday, and it's like that means nothing to me, but to a lot of you people it does. So happy Super Bowl Sunday to you guys that are having parties today and food and gatherings to watch the game. So before I get into my talk, I'm going to do a little introduction on Rosa Parks. When I started to research Rosa Parks, I didn't know very much about her at all, other than she was instrumental in the bus boycott, and that she was a quiet, unassuming woman, which was not the truth at all. She was an activist. She was very active and way past the bus boycott, and we'll get into that when I start talking about her. So I'm going to start talking about her now. Rosa Parks was born Rosa Louise McCauley in Tuskegee, Alabama, on February the 4th, 1913. So February is her birth month. She was born to James McCauley, a carpenter, and Leona McCauley, a teacher. Most historians date the beginning of the modern civil rights movement in the United States to December 1st, 1955. That was the day when an unknown seamstress in Montgomery, Alabama, refused to give up her bus seat to a white passenger. This brave woman, Rosa Parks, was arrested and fined for violating city ordinance. But her lonely act of defiance began a movement that ended legal segregation in America and made her an inspiration to freedom-loving people everywhere. At the age of 2, she moved to her grandparents' farm in Pine Level, Alabama, with her mother and her younger brother, Sylvester. At the age of 11, she enrolled in the Montgomery Industrial School for Girls, a private school founded by liberal women from the northern United States. The school's philosophy of self-worth was consistent with Leona McCauley's advice to take advantage of the opportunities, no matter how few there were. Opportunities were few indeed. Back then, Mrs. Parks recalled in an interview, we didn't have any civil rights. It was just a matter of survival, of existing from one day to the next. She stated, I remember going to sleep as a girl hearing the Klan ride at night and hearing a lynching and being afraid the house would burn down. In the same interview, she cited her lifelong acquaintance with fear as the reason for her relative fearlessness in deciding to appeal her conviction during the bus boycott. I didn't have any special fear, she said. It was more of a relief to know that I was alone. So, she had fear, which led to fearlessness. That's something that we need to think about, but it's true, And it was a relief that she wasn't alone. She wasn't standing by herself. She attended, excuse me, Alabama State Teachers College. When she was young, she settled in Montgomery with her husband, Raymond Parks. And we don't hear a lot about Raymond Parks, but in research, I learned about Raymond Parks. Raymond Parks was a very strong individual. He supported Rosa Parks, his wife, and he did a lot of his own things also. So, together, the man and wife, Rosa and Raymond, they did a lot they joined the local chapter of the NAACP. They worked quietly for many years to improve the law of the African Americans in the segregated South. So when asked in an interview some years later about her arrest, Mrs. Parks is quoted as saying, "Two policemen came on the bus, and one asked me if the driver had told me to stand. He wanted to know why I didn't stand. And I told him that I didn't think I should have to stand up. I asked him, why did they push us around? And he said, I don't know, but the law is the law and you're under arrest." So they took her off to jail. She said, "I worked on numerous cases with the NAACP, but we did not get the publicity. There were cases of flogging, peonage, and I didn't know what the word peonage meant. I never heard of it, so I looked it up, and it means to be kept back, to not have any opportunities to make better of your life. That's peonage, is to be held back, to be held under, and that's a word. There was murder and rape. We didn't seem to have too many success," she said. "It was more a matter of trying to challenge the powers that be, to let it be known that we were not going to continue to be treated as secondhand citizens." And that was what they were trying to achieve, and they did achieve that. So the bus incident led to the formation of the Montgomery Improvement Association, and that was led by a young pastor of the Dexter Avenue Baptist Church, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. And actually, the association that he became the leader of is the entity that called for the boycott of the city-owned bus company. The boycott lasted 381 days, and it bankrupted the transportation department of Montgomery, Alabama, during that time. It also brought Mrs. Parks, Dr. King, and their cause to the attention of the world. A Supreme Court decision struck down the Montgomery Ordinance, under which Mrs. Parks and many others had been fined, and outlawed racial segregation on public transportation. That is a huge thing. After the death of her husband in 1977, Mrs. Parks founded the Rosa and Raymond Parks Institute for Self-Development. And if you Google that, it's online. You can read all about that institute. It's been in effect for over 65 years, and it talks all about it. They take donations. So, it's a wonderful place. The institute sponsors an annual summer program for teenagers called Pathways to Freedom. The young people tour the country in buses under adult supervision, of course, learning the history of their country and the civil rights movement. President Clinton presented Rosa Parks with the Presidential Medal of Freedom in 1996. And she also received a congressional gold medal in 1999. Now, she didn't receive those two medals just for it being instrumental in the bus boycott. It was for all the things that she achieved. She with her husband, and she with Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. and other leaders of the civil rights movement. She was friends with Malcolm X. They don't publicize that. She did work with some of the Black Panther movement. She did tirelessly work with the NAACP. She was an activist. She wasn't, as the media wanted to portray her back in the day, she wasn't a calm, even, gentle woman who just happened to be on the bus on that day and didn't stand up. No, she was an activist. She knew what she was doing. She planned what she was doing, and she knew what had to be changed, and she spoke up. She didn't stand up, but she stood up, like, for her beliefs and what she saw. And that's what I'm going to bring into this. I'm going off track here. So in an interview, she was asked if she was happy living in retirement, and Rosa Parks replied, "I do the very best I can to look upon life with optimism and hope, looking forward to a better day. But I don't think there is any such thing as complete happiness." She said, "It pains me that there is still a lot of clan activity and racism. I think when you say you're happy, you have everything that you need and everything that you want and nothing more to wish for." She says, "I haven't reached that stage yet." And I think she was very happy that she hadn't, because there was a lot in her life yet to live and be happy for. She spent her last years living quietly in Detroit. She died on October 24th, 2005 at the age of 92. After her death, now this is like, yeah. After her death, her casket was placed in the rotunda of the United States Capitol for 2 days so the nation could pay its respects to the woman whose courage had changed the lives of so many. She was the first woman and the second African American to lie in honor at the Capitol, a distinction usually reserved for presidents of the United States. I can't say enough what a magnificent honor for her body to lay in state in the rotunda of the Capitol. Who can say? I mean, my body's not going to lay there, that's for damn sure. But that speaks about what she did, who she was as a woman, as a person, as a Black woman, in a time where people were being killed, people were being dragged out of their homes and beaten up, people were being hung and lynched and raped. Not just women, but young girls. I mean, it was a time of shame. It was a time of abhorrent behavior. So this love, what's love got to do with it? I picked that title because the thread that bound all of these civil rights leaders together was love. And if you, Jariva brought up love, and I loved the different forms of love that she brought in there, because if you go online and you look up types of love, oh my gosh, there's like anywhere from 3 to 15 to 17. There's all types of love. So I just picked out a few. There's eros, which is erotic, passionate love. There's a philia, which is love of friends and equals. This word is weird to me. Stoge love. I never heard of that. But that's the love that parents have for their children. I don't know why it's called stoge. I didn't look that up. But platonic love, that's love without romantic interest. And to me, that one goes right along with the familial love of friends and equals. And there's agape love, which is the one I'm going to talk about today. Agape love is the love for mankind. And I say mankind, excuse the gender, but it's the love for humankind. It's the love for our sisters and brothers, so that these civil rights leaders had that love within them, that agape love, where when they saw something happening They had to do something about it. They had to say something about it. Like in the video, if you speak your truth, even if your voice is shaking, stand up, even if your legs are shaking. It didn't say that, but Rosa Parks stood up. I don't know if her legs were visibly shaking or if our voice is audibly shaking when we speak our truth. But what that means to me is that inside of us, we're speaking up for something, we're standing up for something, and we know that we could get harmed, we could get killed, we could get whatever. Something could happen to us for going in that direction, but we do it anyway, regardless. We do it anyway. So I'm going ahead of myself here. Love, what's love got to do with it? So that's what I was saying. It's the common thread that these Black leaders had to bring them to the point where they could not look at injustice and do nothing. They could not look at injustice and do nothing. That agape love they had for mankind was an automatic justice releaser. It's like, no, this is horrible what's happening over here. Why do the bus boycott? Okay, my mind's going all over. But not only were Black people relegated to sit on the back of the bus, but when they got to put their money in that little thingy in the front of the bus guy, they went in the front door, put their money in that little thingy thing, walked back out on the sidewalk to the back of the bus and got on the bus in the back doors to sit down. So they couldn't even go on the bus in the front doors and go to the back to sit down. They had to get back off and go in and sit from the back doors. So, I don't know. It's when I was researching all this stuff, I found out how much I didn't know. I went to school in the 50s. My whole entire school had 2 Black children in it. We were predominantly a white school. I didn't know, and we didn't learn. We didn't learn. Of course, I knew who Rosa Parks was. I knew who Martin Luther King Jr. was. I knew who the Black Panthers were when I was in high school or later, but we didn't learn about them. We learned who they were and a little teeny bit about what they did, and that's it. There are so many people involved in the civil rights movement, people I never heard of, people who who didn't do maybe what we consider as much as Rosa Parks by not standing up, but they were instrumental. There were other people before Rosa Parks who tried to get the segregation of the city buses stopped. They wrote letters. Some of the people wrote letters. They tried to get it stopped, but Rosa Parks took an action. She did something that brought the media attention to her, which brought it to the world and caused that formation of that organization that Martin Luther King became the head of, to have the bus boycott start. And during the bus boycott, it wasn't just, okay, you got to walk to work and you can't take the bus. There was a lot inside that bus boycott that people did. They formed carpools. They had people sign up for carpools, and they were given routes and people's names and where they lived. And each person that owned the car, they were mostly all Black people that had their own cars, and they would go and pick up the people who would normally take the bus and drive them to their jobs, drive them to shopping, drive them to school, drive them to wherever they had to go, and pick them up and bring them home. That was a whole thing that was organized by the people who were working behind the scenes of the bus boycott. There was violence in there. There was violence against the people who were not riding the bus. There was violence against the people who were giving rides. There's a whole door opening to that bus boycott that we don't know anything about, or maybe some of you do, but I didn't know anything about it. And it's fascinating. And there were a lot of people who put their lives on the line to have that happen, to not ride the bus. It wasn't an easy decision. It wasn't an easy decision for those people not to get on the bus, to go to their job, to go to school, to do their shopping. It was hard. It was really hard. It was a hardship. And it was a physical hardship and a financial hardship to a lot of people. So, what's love got to do with it? Oh my gosh, it's got everything. It's got everything to do with it, because if we don't have love in our hearts, what are we going to do? Who's to say, did God come down here and say, you're white, so you're valuable. You're black, so you're not. You're brown, so you're not. You're whatever color you are, whatever skin color you are. This group here is valuable. This group over here isn't. This group over here is even less. Did God make a caste system? Did God come down here and make a caste system? When we were born, did we have little badges on us, on our naked little baby bodies saying, oh, this is an untouchable, this is a second class, this is a third class, this is a first class? We're not buying bus tickets here, we're living life. We're not riding the plane. We're flying through life on the ground with our feet. And who's to say? Who's to say, Who's to say if somebody can't sit in the front of the bus, somebody can't sit wherever they want to sit? The section of the bus that Rosa Parks sat in was like a free section. Anybody could sit there, unless the bus got crowded. But the bus got crowded, and Black people were sitting in that middle section, and white people didn't have a seat. They had to get up and give their seat to the white person. And that's what happened with Rosa Parks. There were other Black people sitting there, but they got up. She wouldn't. She wouldn't. So she took her stand. She saw injustice and she took her stand. And it was a lot for her. But she was an activist, and that's what she did. She worked with the NAACP. They tried to bring all these cases to court. They weren't successful, but they did make a statement. They made a statement: we're not going to put up with this. We're not going to do this. I wonder about myself. Would I have the courage to stand up for something that I see is not right? We see animals being mistreated, and we're outraged. Where's the outrage when people are mistreated? Our sisters and brothers in the human race, we are all one. We are all one. The genome of our DNA is 99 and 9/10% the same in all humans. What's that say? So we focus on the 1/10 of 1% that's different. Is that what God wanted? No, we all come from the same root. We all come from the same heart of God. We all come from the same universe, from the same birthing station of the stars. We are brothers and sisters. We can't deny that. It's in our DNA. We are related. All of us. We're related, no matter what our skin color looks like. That's passed down from generations, and where we come from and where we lived and all that has nothing to do with what's inside of us. In researching Rosa Parks, I saw a lot of other things that were instrumental to making changes, and it really upset me. I watched a movie, the murder of Emmett Till. Oh my God, I can't even talk about it. It was so abhorrent and so terrible. And to his mother, who they interviewed after the movie as an older woman, they interviewed her, and what a woman, that was her baby. That was her boy. He was just 14 years old. He didn't do anything. He didn't deserve to get killed. He didn't deserve to get beaten and go through all that pain and what they did to him. And that woman, his mother, didn't say, keep that coffin closed because I don't want people to see him. She said, I want that coffin open. I want that lid open. And the mortuary guy wasn't going to do it. She says, if you don't do it, I'm getting a hammer and I'm coming back here and I'm going to open it myself. She said, I want the world to see what my son went through. I want the world to see what they did to my boy. And that's how we got pictures. There were pictures of him lying in the coffin. It was horrible. He didn't even look human. So Okay, we're getting to the end. I've got my timekeeper, Alan, has given me the 2-minute warning. So what's love got to do with it? It's got everything to do with it. If we see something going wrong, if we see somebody being treated wrong, if we see somebody being talked to in a disrespectful way, we can say something. We don't have to be mean. We can say nicely and calm. Why are you talking to that person like that? That's not right. Why are you doing that? That's not right. Don't do that. Why aren't you waiting on this person? That's not right. I was walking down the street one day 3 years ago in my town, and there were 2 men fighting on the sidewalk across the street, on the ground, rolling around. One guy was on top of the other guy, wailing away. A waitress from the restaurant that I had just passed came running out with a little wooden chair over her head. She ran across the street yelling, and she started hitting the guy on top of the other guy with the chair. Now, somebody in the restaurant must have called the police, because shortly after that, the police came. But the guy on top, who was being hit by the chair by the waitress, he got up and ran away. But I mean, she saw somebody being hurt. She saw somebody being harmed. And I just stood there with my mouth open going, oh my God, look at that woman. It was so good to see somebody do something instead of, oh, these 2 guys are across the street fighting, beating each other up. I'm not getting involved in that. I might get hurt too, No, if that's, we can pray. We are spiritual people. We can pray. Prayer is so valuable, so strong. It is the manifestation of prayer. We can pray. We can call the cops. We can say something. We can say something to somebody who's looks like they're abusing a child or something, and say, stop that right now. I was in a diner with my husband, and we sat there for over an hour trying to get weight on my number three. Nobody would wait on us, and finally we left. And it was, he used to tell me about stuff like that all the time, and I thought, oh, he's being overly sensitive. He's being overly sensitive. That can't be, until I started dating him, and I saw, no, he wasn't being overly sensitive. It was true. He was being treated that way. And I saw it firsthand. So, stand up. What can we do? God doesn't want us here like this. God does not want us to kill each other. God does not want us to put each other down, or to look at anybody else in the human race and say they're less than. We're not. We're all the same. We're all equal. God didn't make the caste system. Humans did. The human species has to protect itself. Animal species protect themselves. Animal species do whatever they can to have their species survive. What do? We kill each other. We put each other down. Are we like the elevated consciousness of what God made? I don't know. Sometimes I wonder. So what's love got to do with it? Love's got everything to do with it. Everything. What's inside of us is our passion. It's who we are. It's caring. Do we still have a lot to do? Oh God, yes, we have a lot to do. There's still things going on all over that are showing injustice, that are showing people not being kind, not being, okay. The gift of love, it's a gift. It's wrapped up in a beautiful package. We open that package, and what comes out of that gift? What comes out of that gift of love? A light so bright that it blinds us. We have to put sunglasses on to see that light. It's a God light that comes out of that box of love. And what makes it? What's the recipe? What's the love cake made out of? The love cake is made out of compassion. It's made out of understanding. It's made out of empathy. It's made out of kindness. It's made out of love. That's what's in the love cake. That's what's in that beautiful, beautiful cake that we eat, and that is inside of us, that God made us. We're the love cake. We are the cake, and all of those ingredients are inside of us. So let's do it, folks. Let's stand together. Let's stand together. Let's stand up for not only our rights, but the rights of other people. I didn't ever have to stand up for my rights. Maybe as a woman, there's women were being beaten down, but it can't compare. I don't know what it feels like to go to bed as a child and be afraid of my house burning down, or my dad being taken out of the house and beaten to death. I don't know that. I didn't have that experience, but I can have empathy. I can have compassion, And I know within myself that I can do something, no matter how little a thing we do, it makes a big thing. A little ripple goes throughout the whole lake. It spreads. So every time we do that, every time we see somebody being mistreated, let's speak up. Let's do a prayer. Let's do whatever we can. And so as I get ready to end this talk, and my heart is beating so fast, our next song will be coming on. And our next song is by Bob Marley. And I think we all know who Bob Marley is. And the title of his song is Stand Up for Your Rights. And we're going to be hearing that lyric all through his song, because that's what Bob Marley does. Stand Up for Your Rights by Bob Marley. So take it away. Stand up for your rights. Yeah, Bob Marley, you go, guy. Stand up for your rights. Don't give up. Don't give up the fight. Okay, so I'm going to turn this over to our MC, the wonderful Alan, who I don't know how I could do anything without Alan. So thank you, Alan.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much for that very passionate message and reminding us to stand up for love, to stand up for justice. And I like how you talked about the different layers of love. And I'm a Cancer, so I love comparing it to food. So when you talk about all the different layers, I was picturing like a 7-layer chocolate cake. And that is definitely something worth standing up for, even if I have to go to Weight Watchers or Jenny Craig for it. So thank you very much for that wonderful message. So now it's the time for us to invite the assistance of this community, because like Karen said, we're all brothers and sisters. Uh, in order to engage the CSL Charlotte community in the preparation towards the succession of future generations, leaders such as Timmy P, such as Rosa Parks, as Karen, as Rosedale, and so many others. We are created to fully integrate, teach, expose the science of mind principles. Donations are made through time, talent, and treasure by people just like you, who not only see or feel the need for a community like this, but who want it. So I invite you right here and right now to go to our website, cslcharlotte.org, and press the donate button where you can make your donations payable through credit card or check made payable to CSL Charlotte. Your checks can be sent to the address on our website. And donations can also be made through Zelle and Venmo, as additional information can be found on our website. So now I invite everybody to jump on board the love train as we all just take a deep breath. And I invite you to place your hands on your heart and say this along with me. Prosperity and abundance flows from the law of circulation, of giving and receiving. As I give to the Center for Spiritual Living, Charlotte, I give of my time, talent, and treasure, which opens the path to my grateful return of good 7 times or more in my life. I am grateful for the universal power that exists to continuously open the paths for all prosperity and abundance that we all receive, and I now prosper. So right here and right now, we recognize that there is a powerful force and a powerful presence that has created all the planets, all of the galaxies, and expresses through every individual, expresses through me, expresses through Martin Luther King Jr., expresses through Rosa Parks, and expresses through so many people, including each and every one of us. And we are agents for love and agents for transformation of ourselves, of society, because this is who we are and this is our purpose, is to be love expressed on this earth, to be infinite love and infinite creators. So as we give of our time, talent, and treasure, we create a wonderful new world. And we are engaging in the laws of giving and receiving. As we give love, we get love. As we give money, we get money. As we give courage to stand up, we get the courage to stand up from other people to join us. Because we are all one community, one family. And I am grateful for this opportunity to be reminded of that each and every Sunday. And as we are gathered here in this wonderful CSL Charlotte community. So I release these intentions and declarations out into that powerful creative mind, into that life force, knowing that all the pieces are falling together. And so it is. So now I would like to invite our wonderful, Simply the Best uh, pilot, behind the scenes person to give us the announcements this week. So I introduce our pilot, Timmy P, to give us the opportunities this week.
Thank you so much, Brother Allen. I'm so humbled by that introduction. Welcome everyone on all of our platforms. So glad to join you all today on this Super Sunday. Want to once again echo what Alan said about the donations. Thank you so much for your donations. We sent out end of year statements a couple of weeks ago. So if you have not received an email or you overlooked or missed your email, let us know so that we can make sure that you get your end of year statement. We appreciate all the donations that come and to support this community, to keep our technology up to date, keep the wheels on. So thank you from the bottom of my heart and our community. Here on the screen are a list of our social media links. The main one is the top, cslcharlotte.org. That's where we want you to go and sign up to receive constant communications from us. On the homepage, there's a form at the bottom where you can subscribe, which lets us know that you're interested in news and updates. And we remind you to check your email often because you're going to get reminders about the different meetings that you're interested in throughout the week. On Facebook, we post inspirational quotes and some announcements as well. We love for you to engage with us, like our posts, share them with your friends so that we can broaden our reach and attract more people to our community. We stood up YouTube a couple of months ago, so now I believe starting back in November, all of our services from that point forward are now on YouTube. So if you miss a message, you're traveling, you can always go back and catch up on one of the messages there on YouTube. And recently we opened up a meetup group. And so I know that we have seen a couple of guests come in that are signing up on Meetup. So we're again broadening our reach. I saw a couple of new names today, so I want to thank those visitors for joining us. It's a joy to have new people come and find out what we love here in our community. Here's a picture of our website. I'm going to focus on the More tab on the right, which is a menu that has some sub functions so that you can engage, sign up for more information, and learn more about us. Also, if you have not sent us a picture and you want to be showcased on our website, send us a picture and we will add your photo to the photo album. So again, stay informed and connected. Visiting our website is the best way to do this. On the website, you have multiple options for staying in contact with us. If you like to pick up the phone and just hear a voice, you're welcome to do so. You can email us and send us snail mail if you wish. All of our links are on the homepage. On the bottom left, you can find links to Facebook, YouTube, and Meetup, so you can engage with us in that way. Again, subscribing is what we really want you to do because that ensures that you get all of our information and stay up to date. Again, our contribution statements were mailed out, so check your email. The email would have come from admin@cslcharlotte.org. I believe I received mine January 30th or something like that. So check your email around that time if you don't believe you received it. On Tuesdays, we have weekly consciousness meeting. This is a meeting where we get to come together to, sometimes we're going to talk about what we learned today. I'm sure we'll still be talking about love because Tuesday is Valentine's Day. So we are absolutely clear on what love has to do with it. So I invite you to come and join us on Tuesday. We experience phenomenal shifts. We hold each other up in the circle. We have a prayer time. So if you haven't experienced a weekly consciousness meeting, I invite you to come and join me there, join the others in our community. You will be blessed. Visit the More tab. There's a weekly meetings and event link, and fill out that form, and it will add you to the consciousness meeting distribution list, and then you will regularly receive reminders to join us week to week. We also record that meeting, FYI, so once you tell us that you're interested, I think we keep only the last 2 weeks on our website, so you'll get a link so that you can go back in case you missed it to listen to the consciousness meeting. We are not offering any certificated classes right now, but when we do, you will hear us talk about it here in our announcements, and you will also see information on our website. So stay tuned, more to come. Our Heartbeat Poetry Club meets on Tuesdays at 1 p.m. Eastern. We invite you to join us. We have several talented members in our community that have exquisite writings and poetry. From time to time, we have special programs. They'll share their poetry with the community, but you can go to that focused Heartbeat Poetry Club and share your talents, enjoy the talents of the poets in our community. So visit the More tab under weekly meetings and event. There's a way for you to sign up and let us know you're interested, and we will make sure to include you in that group. Our Sunday services are recorded weekly. We record in audio and video format so that you can listen to the playback in the format of your choosing. All you have to do is visit our website under the More tab. There's a link for Sunday service video and another for Sunday service audio, and you can replay services so you can hear a message again, or again, if you happen to be away and just want to hear a talk, you can go back and do it. I'm going to go back and listen today because Reverend Karen gave us so much information. I was trying to write down the institute that she mentioned with the Pathways to Freedom, so I've got to go back and get the exact quote so that we can look that up, because that's amazing that that institution has been around for 60 years. Prayer opportunities. We have multiple ways for you to receive and engage our community for prayer. The first way is every week following the Sunday service, you have an opportunity to receive live prayer. Today, our prayer tech is Melissa, so you can start texting Melissa in chat now and let her know that you're interested so that she can prepare to assign you to one of our prayer practitioners. But it is a wonderful way for you to get a short 3-minute prayer live with one of our practitioners and allow your spirits to be uplifted. If your spirits are already high, they can hold that high consciousness for you and raise your levels even higher. We are also have a way for you to submit a prayer request online. You can visit our website under the More tab. There's a prayer request link, and you fill out a short contact form letting us know who you are, the object of your prayer, and you send that in to us. It goes to Reverend Mo and our prayer team, and they receive it. It's prayed over by our ministers on staff, and then a copy of that prayer is sent to you so that you can reread it throughout the week as you focus on, what you want to change in your life. I always tell you that, you don't always have to send a prayer request when you have a need. If your cup is full and you want it to remain full, send us a prayer request. I believe in the law of attraction. So what I focus my mind on tells the universe I want more of it. So I tend to focus on the positive things so that I can have more positivity in my life. So at this time, I would love to invite Maureen, our esteemed prayer practitioner, to give us an update on our prayer tree.
Thank you, Timmy. We are at 350.
Yay. Yay, community. We always say that the community that prays together stays together. So use the prayer opportunities that we have for you, and your life will be changed. So with that, I turn the microphone back to our guest speaker, Reverend Karen.
Thank you, Timmy P. You're awesome, as everyone is awesome here. And thank you, Alan, our MC, and Millie, our prayer person. And I'll be giving everybody thanks when we close. But our last song is going to be coming on, and it's "A Change Is Gonna Come" by Sam Cooke. And after that, the prayer light will be passed back to Reverend Millie, who will close us out in a prayer, and then we will continue our closing. So, song number 3, come on. Sam Cooke. Wow. Reverend Millie, will you please take the prayer light, please? Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you for your words today. And also, I want to thank each and every one of you for being here. I just have to take a moment after listening to Sam Cooke and looking at the images that was on that video, because it just reminds me of how much work we have yet to do. And so now I just invite you to close your eyes with me, and let's just enter into this time of knowingness that God is right where we are. Spirit, source, whatever you choose to call it, it does not care. But this is what I do know for sure. One universal name for it can be love. And that's what we are here to express always and in all ways. Yes, we have more work to do, and that work starts within each and every one of us as we elevate our consciousness to raise the vibrations of the planet right where we are. It starts with one. Each and every one of us individually, we are called to elevate the consciousness on the planet to raise the vibrations of love. And this will lead us to our purpose of being here one for another. I'm so grateful today for these words. I'm so grateful for these reminders. I'm grateful for just being here in the presence of spirit, as we all are. And I know that for each and every one, we take the time to just keep ourselves centered and focused on the love that is within us. And so when spirit speaks to us, we get that little intuitive nudge. We know what to do. We know how to step forward. We know what to say, because we are just raised up and buoyed by spirit. And with that, I just say thank you. Thank you, love. Thank you, light. Thank you, spirit. Thank you, God. And I release this prayer into the law. And we can affirm it together by saying, and so it is.
Oh, it is.
Amen.
Amen. Wow. Thank you, Reverend Millie. That was a beautiful prayer. Between Sam Cooke and Reverend Millie's prayer, I'm like done for. I did, yeah, the images in that song, we have a lot to do, but we're love cakes, we're love cakes, and we've got all those ingredients in us. So let's go spread it out wherever we can. Yeah, we can. It starts with us, as Reverend Millie said. It starts with us. We have the God within us. We have the belief within us. We have that belief of God, of love, and of equality within us, no matter where it shows up. And there are so many places on this planet where it's showing up to not be, but we are the cakes, and we just don't get devoured, because when people have a piece of us, it grows right back. We're magic cakes. And we can bring it all. So, okay, I want to thank everybody. Oh my gosh, there's so many people to thank. Jimmy P, Alan, and Horst did a prayer for our team this morning before we went online, and Groovy G, who's our Facebook liaison and our comment queen over here on Zoom, and Maureen, who does our prayer tree and keeps us in prayers. I've gotten her prayers, they're awesome. Jariva, that reading was fabulous. Oh my gosh, it was fabulous. I loved it. I want a copy of that reading because I want to read it. more to myself. So please send me a copy of that reading, Jereva. It was wonderful. Everybody who puts this, everybody here in this platform, Reverend Rosedale, oh my God, you know, she trusts me so much. She has given me so many opportunities to express who I am. I can't say enough about her. She has her hands in so many good things. It's beautiful. I take yoga lessons from her. She's my nutritionist coach. She's my mentor here in my ministry. And so, yeah, she is a leader in life, in the spiritual civil rights that we have, that we are fighting for. And in that, Reverend Millie is our private prayer room coordinator. She is in charge of our private prayer room. If you want private prayer in a beautiful private space, don't leave the room. Just stay on and raise your hand or your little hand thing there or whatever. And Reverend Millie's going to talk to us more about